It started quietly. No warning, no headlines. One decision halfway around the world flipped America's agricultural backbone upside down. China, once the largest buyer of U.S. soybeans, simply walked away. And with them, 88% of U.S. soybean exports vanished overnight. In Iowa, the beating heart of American agriculture, farmers watched full silos become tombstones of hope. For decades, over 9 million acres thrived on planting, harvesting, and shipping soybeans. Generations built their lives around it. Farming wasn't just a job, it was identity, legacy, and pride. But now, those same farmers are storing crops, not for profit, but because no one is buying. Prices crashed, contracts disappeared, and hope started to shrink. We can't even break even, but we still have to harvest. A good harvest used to mean celebration. Now it means more debt. Selling below cost is the new normal. Farmers are stacking bags of soybeans in barns, garages, even sheds, waiting for a miracle. But waiting doesn't pay the bills. College tuition is going unpaid. One farmer's son had to drop out of school because they couldn't afford the semester. Families are skipping meals, cutting costs, and tightening every belt. Some truckers who used to haul soybeans across the Midwest are now delivering pizzas at night. A few have listed their rigs on Craigslist, hoping to get something before they lose everything. This isn't a distant problem. It's personal. It's in every household, every grocery bill, every gas tank, and every canceled plan. In Illinois, the crisis has shifted from soil to steel. The factories that once thrived on soybean processing are quiet. Places like Decatur, known for their industrial pulse, are running at just 60% of normal capacity. The lights are still on, but barely. Job boards that once overflowed with openings are now empty. 3-day workweeks are the new reality. One factory worker who spent 2 decades on the night shift said, "We don't ask about the next shift anymore. We ask if there'll be a job next month." From Peoria to Joliet, ripple effects are being felt. A packaging company that labeled bottles for soybean oil slashed orders by nearly half. That single cutback triggered a domino effect, impacting suppliers, drivers, warehouse staff, and even cafeteria workers. Rail freight lines that once buzzed with movement are now graveyards of idle cars. Rust is setting in where motion used to rule. In Minnesota and Nebraska, the story changes, but the pain remains. Here, soybeans don't just leave the country, they feed it. Soybean meal is a critical part of livestock feed. When soybean processing slows down, so does the entire feed chain. Ranchers are now faced with impossible decisions: buy expensive feed at a loss or sell off their herds. One family in North Platte sold 1/3 of their cattle, not because they wanted to, because they had no choice. We can't raise livestock on hope. Every cow sold represents a lost future, a missed opportunity, a broken dream. In Lexington, a soybean pellet factory shut its doors, not because of poor performance, but because there weren't enough orders. 120 workers lost their jobs overnight. These aren't just numbers. They're parents, neighbors, people who had no idea they were living one paycheck away from crisis. Even Nebraska's state budget is bleeding. With less revenue from agriculture and processing, schools are slashing after-school programs. Some are even cutting air conditioning during heat waves to save money. Imagine trying to learn when it's 90 degrees in your classroom and there's no stable meal at home. That's reality now. In Indiana, soybean fields look green and lush. The weather's been good, yields are high. But here's the twist: many farmers aren't harvesting at all. Why? Because harvesting would cost more than doing nothing. Fuel, labor, transport, storage, it all adds up. And if you can't sell what you grow, what's the point? In some counties, fields are being left to rot. Combines sit still. Tractors remain parked. It's not because farmers are lazy. It's because the math doesn't work anymore. Equipment manufacturers in Fort Wayne and Terre Haute are reporting massive order drops. Factories that once shipped 15 harvesters a month now hope for just one. Workers are being placed on rotating leave. That's corporate talk for, you're not fired, but you won't be paid full-time either. And when paychecks shrink, diners get quieter, mechanics get fewer calls, families stop spending. The whole town slows down. Even schools are impacted. Less funding means fewer resources. After-school programs are the first to go. Parents are quietly telling their kids, maybe skip college this year. We can't afford it. Indiana has always balanced agriculture and manufacturing. But now, both sides are choking. One can't survive without the other, and both are stuck. Missouri tells a quieter story. This state doesn't grow as much, but it's where the packaging happens. Labeling, shipping, distribution. That system is cracking too. Orders have dropped 40%. Plants that used to run 3 shifts a day now barely fill 1. Overtime has disappeared. New hiring has frozen. One packaging line outside Jefferson City shut down entirely. No layoffs. Yet. But workers are waiting for calls that never come. Trucking companies are parking their fleets. Diesel sales are down 25%. That's not just a fuel state. It's a sign that money has stopped moving. People aren't complaining. They're adjusting, quietly. In Kansas, farmers are calling this season a loss before it's even over. The crop is fine. The equipment works. But there's nowhere to take the beans. Silos are bursting. Some trucks have been parked along the highway for days. Drivers waiting for instructions that never arrive. Every passing day costs more. Fuel, storage, time. A few are still hoping for a buyer. Most have given up. This isn't just about soybeans. It's about an entire ecosystem. Crops feed cattle. Cattle support families. Families fund schools. Schools build communities. Communities make a nation strong. And when one thread breaks, the whole web unravels. It's not just an economic downturn. It's a quiet collapse. And if America's heartland falls silently, who's listening? What do you think should be done? Let us know in the comments below.